Jeff, how many years sober have you been?
Little over 13 years.
Wonderful. Can you tell me, Jeff, what the struggle was like every day?
Oh, the struggle was always, where am I going to find it? Where am I going to drink it? And how am I going to hide it? And hiding the drinking, hiding the intoxication.
Mm-hmm. And as a family, Jane, what was the struggle like for you as your husband was finding ways to hide the alcohol and abuse it?
It was fear, like what's going to happen next. He would always like to leave after he was drinking, get in the car, and just waiting for that phone call of what could happen. Mm-hmm. And also just the lying of it, just saying he hasn't been drinking, even though I knew the minute he walked in the door if he was or not.
Mm-hmm. And Alli, as the daughter of Jeff, you were young while this was happening, age 4, 5. What was the struggle like for you then, up until throughout your teenage years into your adult life?
I didn't like to come home a lot. I would always hang out at my friends' houses because I never knew if my dad would be drinking or not when he was home alone. If my mom would go on a catering event or something like that, she would, I would always worry that my dad would drink, and then I used to have her number memorized in case, I was at a friend's house and something would happen or whatever. It was more so a lot of the conflict that was at home and trying to avoid it.
And now that you're sober, and as a family, I say you're sober, right? And that's wonderful. What do you each want society to know about addiction?
I guess I would want people to know that recovery is possible. It's a long road. It's not as easy as just quitting drinking, the so-called stick the plug in the jug. You have to go after the reasons you drank in the first place. Until you do that, meaningful or joyous recovery is pretty hard to find.
I'd like to just say that the addiction doesn't just hurt the user or the drinker, whatever your addiction is. It affects every single member of the family. My dad's addiction affected my mom and me, just like, back in the day, her dad's addiction affected her, which it's a cycle. So the addiction does not just hurt the addict, it's big ripple effect.
And I realized going into any relationship with a male, I always found that alcoholic like my father. My mom was codependent, so I realized that this cycle, it just kept going. I mean, that's all I knew as far as who I was going to be with. And but I also realized that the effect from my mother's unhealthiness of her codependency, how it affected me, and I wanted to stop that cycle, which it's possible.
And a lot of times those who have recovered from addiction hit rock bottom. We recently talked about your story, Jeff, and as the family of hitting rock bottom and the many support that you've had recovering. And Celebrate Recovery was one of the number one ways that you feel has helped through your recovery. Can you tell me about that?
When I was going to AA, all we would do is get together and, kind of rehash over what had happened and what we're like now. There was nothing forward-looking about Alcoholics Anonymous. Celebrate Recovery does the same work that AA does. We do get together and we do talk about what happened, but we also talk about our relationship with Jesus Christ and how we can take these things from us, and how much better our life is going to be because of it. So Celebrate Recovery it's really forward-looking, and it's a program that I never want to stop being involved with.
And can anyone go?
Anybody can go that's over 18. We are open to just about any kind of hurt, habit, or hang-up. If there's something you want to stop doing or stop being affected by, come on and give us a try. And you don't have to worry if you're a woman about sharing in front of a man, because we never have men and women sharing together.
Great.